Let me take you on a wild ride. One that sounds so absurd, so hilariously ironic, it feels like something straight out of a courtroom sitcom. Imagine this. An entitled HOA Karen, known for her neighborhood tyranny, storms into court, determined to ruin a neighbor's life over a fence. But she doesn't realize the neighbor she's suing is the judge presiding over her case. Yeah, you read that right. Buckle up. It all started in one of those painfully perfect suburban neighborhoods. You know the type. Cookie-cutter houses, manicured lawns, and an HOA with more drama than a reality TV show. In this pristine little pocket of upper-middle-class heaven lived Karen. Not just any Karen, the Karen. Platinum blonde bob, oversized sunglasses, a clipboard that never left her hand, and a walkie-talkie like she was commanding troops instead of patrolling garden gnomes. Now let's just call me Alex for privacy, had just purchased a modest home on the edge of the neighborhood. I liked it for its quiet street, decent yard space, and proximity to my courthouse job downtown. Yes, I'm a judge, municipal court, but I keep my profession quiet when I move into new neighborhoods. People act weird once they know you're wearing a robe for a living. I didn't want HOA drama. I just wanted peace. So when I installed a basic wooden privacy fence within the allowed height, clean design, neutral color, I didn't expect fireworks. I even reviewed the HOA guidelines like a diligent citizen. No violations. I was good. Or so I thought. Enter Karen. The very next morning, I heard aggressive knocking on my door. Not the kind of knock you expect from a neighbor offering muffins. This was the "I'm about to give you a lecture" kind of knock. I opened the door to find Karen standing there, arms crossed, lips pursed like she was trying to vacuum seal her disapproval. "That fence violates community standards," she snapped before even saying hello. I blinked. "Excuse me?" "The fence. Page 12, Section 4B of the HOA rulebook. Fences must be pre-approved by the HOA committee. Yours wasn't." I politely responded. "Actually, I emailed the HOA board last month with the plans. I got no objection within the 14-day period, which, according to Section 4C, means it's deemed approved." Karen didn't like that. She huffed, adjusted her sunglasses even though it was cloudy, and said, "We'll see about that." That was the start of what I now call the fence wars. Over the next week, Karen tried everything. Complaints to the board, passive-aggressive notes in my mailbox, and even organizing a petition, which, shockingly, only got 3 signatures, 2 of which were her cats. She wasn't giving up. This was her turf, and how dare a newcomer challenge her HOA queen status? Then came the letter, a formal complaint, filed in court, alleging I had violated covenant agreements, diminished neighborhood aesthetic, and caused her emotional distress. The kicker? She wanted the fence torn down, $5,000 in damages, and get a written apology. Now here's where it gets delicious. What Karen didn't know was that all small claims cases under a certain jurisdiction rotate between 3 judges. And that month, my rotation included HOA disputes. I showed up to court in my usual suit and tie, civil attire, not the robe, and sat through a few cases before hers was called. She strutted into the courtroom like a peacock on a power trip, papers in hand, rehearsed speech ready. The clerk called the next case, Karen Smith versus Alex M. She glanced around, waiting for the judge to enter. Then I stood up, walked to the bench, and took my seat. Her face? Priceless. Eyes wide, color drained, jaw slack. It took everything in me to maintain professionalism and not burst out laughing. "Ms. Smith," I said, calm and collected, "do you have representation?" She stammered. You're the judge?" "Yes," I said with the faintest hint of a smile. "This is my courtroom today." You could practically hear her ego deflating like a cheap balloon. She tried to protest. "Isn't this, conflict of interest?" I replied, "Only if I have a personal interest in the outcome, but seeing as I'm the defendant and the judge, the system has protocols for this. I'll hear preliminary details, and if necessary, recuse myself and refer it to another judge. Let's proceed." I gave her every chance to withdraw the complaint. Every out. But nope, Karen doubled down. She launched into her speech, quoting outdated HOA bylaws, fabricating neighbor testimony, and sobbing. Yes, sobbing, about how my fence blocked her sunset view from a second-floor guest bathroom that hadn't had a working window in years. When it was my turn, I calmly presented all my evidence. Emails, photos, timestamps, architectural approval timelines, even screenshots from the HOA's own server confirming receipt of my plans and lack of objections. It was a legal slam dunk. But to be absolutely impartial, I asked the clerk to summon Judge Peterson, my colleague from the next rotation, to make the final ruling. Karen, now visibly shaking, asked if she could retract her complaint. Too late. Judge Peterson came in, reviewed everything, and dismissed the case with prejudice. He also recommended Karen be fined for abusing court resources. Oh, and ordered her to pay my legal fees. She stormed out of the courtroom like a child who didn't get a second slice of cake. Red-faced, huffing, muttering things under her breath. The entire gallery, including a few amused neighbors who had come to watch the drama, applauded. But it didn't end there. A week later, the HOA board held a meeting. Turns out Karen had been terrorizing the neighborhood for years, illegally fining residents, selectively enforcing rules, and appointing herself to roles that didn't even exist. With the court documents now public record and a full neighborhood in the loop, a vote was held. Karen was removed from the HOA board unanimously. She tried to appeal, but her reputation was cooked. Nobody wanted her barking orders anymore. A month after that, a for sale sign went up on her lawn. Word on the street is she moved to Florida. Fitting. Now people wave when they pass by my fence. Some have even asked for advice on how to build their own. The new HOA board is chill, transparent, and actually helpful. Peace has returned. My fence still stands tall, legal, and unbothered. And Karen, let's just say she learned the hard way. When you pick a petty fight, make sure you're not suing a judge. It's funny, isn't it? The very person she tried to humiliate ended up being the one person she couldn't intimidate. The irony was poetic. The karma, instant. And the fence still looks fantastic. So what's the takeaway? Sometimes you don't need revenge. You just need the truth, a little patience, and, if you're lucky, a front row seat to karma doing its thing.